Kalkadosh Boker Or, Mishna Yomi Masechet Eduyot, Perek Aleph, Mishnah, Yod Bet and Yod Gimel, 12 and 13. Says the Mishnah, Elu Devarim Shechazru Bet Hillel Oro Kedivei Bet Shammai. There are certain things, right? Remember, Eduyot are testimonies. So there are certain things certain matters that Bet Hillel, they retracted to rule like Bet Shammai. Imagine a woman comes from Medidat Yam and she says that her husband died, right? Tina says she could remarry. Met Bali, right? If she says, right? So she comes back and she says, my husband died, she's believed and she can marry. Similarly, if the husband had no children, Met Bali, Tityabem, she also does Ibum. Same halacha. Bet Hillel says, Lo shamanu ela baba min hakatzid bivad. We have not heard that a woman is allowed to remarry on her own, only if she comes from the grain harvest, which is basically from a field near the city, and testifies the husband died nearby. This is what happened in the case where the Chachamim established that she's going to be believed. If a woman testifies that her husband died overseas, she's not believed. Why? It's too far away. I can never find out if she's actually telling the truth or not. Amrula and Bet Shammai says Bet Shammai to Bet Hillel, Achat haba min hakatzid v'achat haba min hasetim. What happens if she's coming, whether it's from the harvest or from the olives? Right? Remember, there's a difference in the way that it's read, from the zetim, right? From the olives or from the katzid. They only mention the harvest just b'oveh, but really, it's like everything. That means, according to Bet Shammai, it says it's in every case. A woman comes and she says her husband died. Kaddish, that's it. Say Kaddish for him. Says the Gemara, the Mishnah, Chazru Bet Hillel, you're right. Bet Hillel retracted, they said you're right. Anytime the woman comes back and she says that she's allowed to retract. Next part. Bet Shammai Omrim, Tinaseh v'titot ketuvata. When she comes and she says that the husband died, she could remarry, and she could even collect her original ketubah of the husband that died. Bet Hillel Omrim, Bet Hillel said, no. Tinaseh, she could get married, but she can't get the ketubah. He says, why? Because we're only going to allow her to do with the concept of remarrying, but not that because we don't want to leave her like an aguna. We don't want to leave her like stranded, but not that she gets money, not that she gets the thing. So he says, Amru lahem Bet Shammai, says Bet Shammai, right? Hitartem et ha'erva chamura, lo tatiru et mamon hakav. Says Bet Shammai, I don't understand you. If you permitted a woman to get married, that means you just permitted erva. Erva is harayot. It's such a money is nothing. What's money? Here we're talking about life and death situations. Then you're talking about money. Amru lahem Bet Hillel, matzinu shena achim nichnasim lanachala al pi. He says, what are you talking about? We find that the brothers, they cannot inherit, right, based on our word. So Amru lahem Bet Shammai told them, right, misefer ketuvata limon. You're going to learn it from the sefer of the ketuvah itself, shuktev that he writes, shim tinasi la'acher tidim shektiv alech. He says, there it's written, if you're going to get married to somebody else, you're going to take everything you're going to take what's yours, which means the ability to remarry, automatically she accepts the ketubah. Again, Bet Hillel retracted and they paskin like Bet Shammai. Mishnah Yud Gimel, somebody that's half slave, half free. So he works for himself one day and he works for his master one day. These are the words of Bet Hillel. Amru Bet Shammai said Bet Shammai, right, to Bet Hillel, he says, well, you only fix the master. You didn't fix himself. He cannot. Why? He can't get married to a shifcha because he's a half free man. And he can't get married to a free woman because he is half a slave. So libatel, he's not going to get married at all. The world was created for pidiyah v'ribiyah. But because of tikkun olam, right? They force the master to make him free. And then he has to come and he has to write the document that he owes half of his value to the master in order because he just bought himself out. And then Chazru Bet Hillel, and then Chazru Bet Hillel, they retracted to paskin like Bet Shammai.